host Joshua.
And I'm your host Ariel.
And we're the Midnight Guild. Hello everybody and welcome back. We are now going to be starting our Christmas episodes. Yay! All the holiday horror and mistletoe mayhem.
I love that.
Yeah, I like that too.
That's so good.
Coin that phrase, honey.
Coin it.
Yes.
Honey, next Christmas.
Next Christmas.
Merch.
Gave you my heart. Sorry.
That was good. Loves it. Loves me some Mariah Carey.
She has thawed out just in time, baby.
Yes.
Just in time.
Just in
time. Okay, I'm done. I promise.
If you threw a whistle note out, just out of nowhere.
Out of the blue.
I'd be like...
Right, shook. No, honey,
Shookins.
no. Mine's not a whistle note, honey. More of a lisp. A little lisp.
Mine just is. Oh God, I don't even know what to call mine. Scary. Scary.
So, before we begin, a special thank you to everyone who has liked us, followed us, shared everything. We appreciate you so very much.
So much. And we are trying our best to get our Instagram and Facebook up, honey.
Yes.
They be giving us trouble.
They really are. They need to calm down.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, I know a lot of people create fake accounts. And that's probably why it's so much harder now.
But we promise that we're the Midnight Guild.
We're real.
We're real. We're legit. Check us out.
So we're trying a lot. And if you are watching on TikTok or watch us primarily on TikTok, if it does get banned,
get you a VPN.
Get you a VPN, honey.
You didn't hear it from us, though.
Shh, you didn't hear anything from us.
But get you a VPN.
Because we are.
Because we still going to meet you there to play.
Yeah. We're going to figure it out, honey.
Honey, yeah.
But if for some reason you can't do that, we are going to get this damn Facebook and Instagram thingamajig
Although
figured
not
out.
That making reels is going to be, can you imagine? Facebook reels. Ugh.
Just so many more ads.
There is. There's a lot. But anywho, listen, friends, we will get through this together.
Amen.
We will conquer it, and we will be victorious.
We will be victorious.
Yes.
Hashtag the Guilders.
The Guilders. The Guilders rise. All right. So today we have gonna kick it all off with one of the oldest Christmas baddies, I believe. Mr. Krampus. Yes. And we know Ariel, honey, she has went to a deep dive. Honey, she deep dives a whole lot more than I do. Like, she's over on page 6 looking at stuff. Like, I give up after page 3. All right. I feel like all there gonna be people here. All I hear is these little bells.
Oh my God, I've been hearing them too, but I've been like...
She's been going long, and this whole time I'm like, where's them bells coming from?
Oh my
All
gosh.
right.
I'm not gonna even lie. I didn't even think about it being your hat. I was just
Thought it was background music.
Yeah, I was like,
Christmas. All right, so Ariel is going to lead us off with our Krampus stories here, and we also got a couple of stories at the end of actual sightings of Krampus. People who have actually spotted the horned little
the shadow of Saint Nicholas.
Oh, I like that. Oh, a little tidbit before we get started. Did you see the other day that they believe that they have actually found the tomb of Saint Nicholas? The actual Saint Nicholas? Yes, I'll have to show it to you. Oh, we might do that would make a good little thing to do, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Oh, okay, so I'm not going to say anything right now. Y'all will have to come back at a later time. All right? Maybe next week. And we're going to do...
Yeah, let's do it next week.
We're going to do the tomb of Saint Nicholas. Because they recently thought that they...
I went to go grab my cup and hit it with my hand and stab myself in the tongue with this fucking straw.
Are you alright?
Yeah.
Honey, that face.
Heaven.
Oh my God, that face was a face. Oh my God. I was like...
No, what happened to you?
I know, I was just like, oh... Bless her heart. She's in pain.
Oh, Lord.
All right.
We're just too much. We're excited about our Christmas.
We are, honey. We are.
Oh Lord, we've been looking forward to this since like the beginning of November.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okie dokie. Are you ready to hear about Krampus?
I'm very excited. Let's get into it. Krampus is one of my favorite little legends, by the way.
And
Might be because I have a spanking fetish.
Oh, so are we ready to hear about Krampus?
Very, very much ready.
Okie dokie.
All right.
Here we go.
Away we go.
Yeah. Love it, love it. Every time I'll be like, I'll look at you and you can do it.
Yeah, I did a little head jiggle.
Okay. It's the night of December 5th. And I thought that Krampus actually came on Christmas Eve. Apparently not.
No.
But, okay, it's the night of December 5th. And Krampus walks through the towns and villages, his chains dragging behind him, and the sound of his birch branches swishing in the wind.
I don't have no birch. Pretend.
When his long tongue slithers from his mouth, tasting the air around him for naughtiness.
Oh. Oh my. Hey, Krampus.
Wow.
Hey, sir.
As Krampus walks through the towns and villages where laughter and joy is heard, he passes by. But where he tastes the air of misdeeds, the shadow of St. Nicholas takes his revenge.
Dum dum dum.
The origins of Krampus go back super duper far. Like, they can't be traced to any certain era of which they started, but it was long before the Christian belief swept.
He's an OG.
Yes. Way before Christian belief swept like the world as we know it today. Krampus is believed to have originated from pagan beliefs sometime around the 6th or 7th century. In these times, Krampus would have been considered a myth, but he was an embodiment of the people of that era's beliefs and fears.
Yes.
During the 12th century, the Catholic Church put quite a bit of effort into suppressing Krampus and Krampus celebrations, and like they really wanted to knock any type of Krampus celebrating off the map. So the Catholic Church's way of thinking, if they can't beat them, kind of a little bit join them.
Might as well.
Basically turn their belief into something else. So in believing that Krampus too much resembled the devil, they tried to do away with him, but they couldn't. The people still celebrated Krampusnacht. I don't know how to say it. But it's English. It's Krampusnacht. The Catholics couldn't get rid of it, so they pretty much decided to incorporate it into the Christian faith, which
as they do.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Exactly, on the money. Because if you do your research, like Easter was something else, Christmas was something else. It was like the winter solstice, but it was also called Yule. Thank you.
And
then Halloween
I was going to say Easter was actually the celebration of Eastar.
Okay.
The goddess of fertility, I believe.
That sounds right. And then on Halloween, it would have been Samhain.
Mm-hmm.
So, they incorporated Krampusnacht in with our Christian Christmas. And they allowed people to still, they really wanted to basically bring Krampus into the front lines of being the anti-Santa, anti-Saint Nick, and that's when the shadow, they coined the phrase shadow of Saint Nick.
Yeah, because he's kind of like the anti-Santa.
Exactly. So they were very much be like, if you're good, Saint Nicholas is going to come.
But if you're
bad, Krampus is going to come and
he going to get you.
And get you, beat you with some birch branches and
birch
all
rock.
kinds of stuff hanging. Now, Josh has a little bit of, they not only did they try to do this in like the 15th century,
but actually in modern history too, they did like a whole campaign to get rid of Krampus. In 1932 in Austria, the Krampus tradition was prohibited by the Dollfuss regime under the clerical fascist Fatherland Front. I'm not going to say his little German name there because it's like Vaterländische Front. In the Christian Social Party. Also in the 1950s, the government of Australia distributed pamphlets titled Krampus is an Evil Man. Yeah, I know. Krampus is an evil man. For fear that encounters with Krampus might damage children's mental health. Towards the end of the century, a popular resurgence of Krampus celebrations occurred, and pretty much it's continued throughout today.
Yep.
Like he's still,
They have parades with people that dress up as Krampus.
yeah, they're actually doing a whole revival of Krampus is being seen in Bavaria.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and a local artistic tradition of hand carved wooden masks. Don't those sound lovely?
Yes, they actually do.
Unless you get splinters.
Oh, yeah. Surely they wear
not.
gloves. Okay, so by the 17th century, Krampus had become an important part of the Christian winter celebration. We see a shift where basically that's what I was talking about earlier, how it becomes like a yin and yang effect.
Yeah. You can't have one without the other.
Drawings and stories of St. Nicholas rewarding children and Krampus dragging the bad children off into the underworld became a really big thing around the 17th century. Now, appearance-wise, Krampus is often depicted with fur as black as night, a huge monster-like creature with long horns that resemble a goat's, standing super-duper tall on two large hooves, a long slithering tongue that hangs from his mouth, testing the air for naughtiness, with teeth long and sharp, ready to devour children. His claws, longer than even his fingers, ready to rip and shred his victims. Krampus's appearance is the complete opposite of the virtuous St. Nicholas. Rather, Krampus's appearance seems to almost mock the kind and approachable nature to that of his counterpart.
I believe that he's depicted more kind of like how we, especially here in America, how we view Satan.
Very much so.
You know, even though we know that that's not what Satan truly looks like, but how we, what's the word? The modern media.
Yes.
Of the horns and the fur and the teeth and the pointed tongue, which meh.
The sound of rattling chains accompanies Krampus wherever he goes. Leaden chains represent the binding of the devil by the Christian faith. This symbolism is important to reminding people that Krampus's pagan roots was tamed by the church, basically, is why they have the chains on him. In many versions of Krampus mythology, Krampus also carries a bundle of birch leaves. Not leaves, branches, known as the root.
That root.
Legend has said that Krampus's punishments for naughty children were beatings with these birch branches, but that's not the same story in every single mythology story, lore, whatever, of Krampus. In some Krampus lore around the world, Krampus is known to kidnap, torture, and even in some legends, eat naughty children. So,
so did that witch in Hansel and Gretel.
Right, what if that was Krampus's bish?
Right, his side piece.
Yeah,
his side cookie.
Bit.
His side cookie.
Yeah. Okay, now, what I think everybody most likely is really here for is Krampus sightings.
Right,
and the stories about it.
I have one here from you, and it is from YouTube user. Did I say that right?
Mm-hmm.
Haunted Scripts. All right. So now this is a story about a little girl named Lily. She's 7 years old, and she's from the Hamburg, Germany area. Hopefully, I'm saying that right.
You are.
So it was Christmas time in their village, and they celebrated both the Santa and the Krampus tradition. Her grandfather would always tell her to behave, or Krampus will get you. I'm trying to do voices.
I loved it.
No. So this particular story, get her little drinky poo.
Oh, go ahead.
So this is about a little boy named Freddie. And Freddie was like the village bully. He went around, he stole candy, he made fun of people, he hurt animals. Yeah. And he was just always in trouble. And like all the parents just said that he was troubled. He was troubled. He probably needed that ice to be a little bit heavy.
Agreed.
Anywho, neither here nor there.
Mm-hmm.
So, that Christmas, a very heavy snow fell. And, like, it was all the way up to this little girl's, you know, I think it said
Like
her
side.
waist. Yeah, like her waist. So 3, 4 feet deep of snow. And it made everything very, very dark. Um, and she says that she can remember seeing shadows, look like figures, kind of moving and dancing because they were all huddled around this big fire to stay warm. So, and it just kind of looked like all types of figures and stuff was outside moving around.
Ooh.
And yeah, just very, very, very creepy. You know how it is when it's very snows heavy. It just seems to make everything more quiet.
Yes, very
You
much
know,
so.
like, and it's kind of weird how it does that. But snow has a tendency to do that. It just makes
Agreed.
everything so much quieter. But that silence was broken by the screaming, like by screaming, just lots and lots of screaming, and it was a child screaming.
Ooh.
So as it continued, they realized that not only was it a child screaming, it was Freddie screaming. Um, so she ran and hid, and she couldn't look outside. She wasn't brave enough to look outside. Her
Right.
brother looked outside and said that he actually saw Freddie and Krampus, and he described Krampus as the general, the tall, furry, hooved creature. And according to her brother, Krampus hit Freddie with a stick and shoved him in a bag and took off with him. And I guess, the men folk even, like, they tried to go outside and find him, but they couldn't see anything. So little Lily, she scared to death. She covered up. She stayed covered all night long. She didn't sleep. She was just scared. The next morning, Freddie was gone. Nobody could find Freddie. His mother was crying. She cried and cried. They searched for Freddie. He was just nowhere
To be found.
nowhere to be found. Freddie was gone. Krampus had took him. So they thought, at least.
Right.
But there was nothing there to indicate anything else. Um and pretty much they canceled Christmas that year.
Oh,
They just stopped. Nope.
that's scary.
It is a little scary.
Do you
It
believe in
is-
Krampus?
No,
I
not
don't either.
particularly.
I don't either.
I don't really particularly believe in Krampus. Um, I believe it was, used as a tool, just like
Yeah.
any other fear mongering
Yeah.
that we
To make children
we
behave.
do. I mean, they use Santa the same way.
Oh yeah, they're like,
Yeah.
you better quit or I'm gonna call Santa.
Yeah, Santa won't bring you nothing.
He's gonna bring you a lump of coal
A
this
lump
year.
of coal.
Yeah.
Well, honey, bring me that lump of coal, honey. Shoot.
Throw it in the fire.
We'll throw it in the fire, honey. So now Ariel has you a little sighting story
Y'all.
as well, even though we've done said that we're skeptical and don't believe.
I know, we ruined it. We're like, we
We
don't
ruined
need
it.
that.
Boy, you done ruined it. It's like we just look festive.
We're just like,
Hey, jingle bells, jingle bells.
jingle all the way.
Oh,
Okie dokie.
moving right along.
So, this story comes from user named Jay Riley, and their story was told by YouTuber Darkness Prevails, and I'm going to link both of these videos.
I kind of like that darkness
This
prevails.
bitch
I
calls.
like that darkness prevails. That's a good name.
It is a really good name. It's by YouTuber Darkness Prevails, and I'm going to link both this channel and Haunted Scripts down in our description box below, because they deserve the credit, honey.
Right. They did all the work.
That's right.
Yes, thank you.
So let's see. Yes, thank you, honey.
Thank you, Eddie. Thank you.
Okay.
And if any other YouTubers would like us to tell their story or
Holler
anything
at
like
us,
that,
honey.
holler at us, honey. By all means, we got you.
Yes.
Especially if it's a good little Christmassy thing, honey. You better get in quick, though.
Get in quick, honey.
Because, we're going to do as many Christmas episodes as we possibly can. But, the season, 'tis a-fleeting.
Tis a fleeting, honey.
'Tis a-fleeting.
Okay.
Alrighty.
So-
I'm all ears
Yeah.
and bells.
Oh my god, love that.
Yeah. Cute thing.
Did you? Oh my god, you know it'd have been so cute if they'd have put elf ears on your hat.
No. Absolutely
That'd have
not.
been cute. Okay. Riley grew up in a small seaside town with his family, and he knows that his family had always had like this weird fascination with Krampus. And he said that growing up, instead of his parents telling him like sweet stories about Santa Claus, they reinforced this idea of like, if you're bad, Krampus will get you.
Oh, no.
You know. And Raleigh says that he literally like believed his parents about Krampus for around half his life. And he says, but he's 23 now and he knows better. Or at least he thought he did.
He thought he did.
So Raleigh moved to the state of Washington to live with his aunt after a disagreement with his parents over Riley's college major. And this led to a couple years of him being estranged from his parents. So his parents are in Maine. Raleigh has been living in the state of Washington.
Honey, a whole country away.
Yes, honey. Okay, so after a few years of being estranged, like I said, Riley's parents invite him home for Christmas, and they promise no drama and nothing like that, that they just miss him and they want to spend time with him.
They're going to miss some drama, though.
There always is.
They always is.
And even though Riley's still super hurt over the past, he really does miss his family, and he wants to give his parents the benefit of the doubt. You know, give them a chance.
Yeah.
And so Riley flies home to Maine, and he had been nervous the whole time or whatever, and he gets there and he kind of like gives his parents each an awkward hug, but to his surprise, they were like ridiculously excited to see him. They both cried.
Oh.
And they were so happy to see them, and they didn't bring anything up. There was no griping, bitching, or anything like that like he was used to, and he was very taken aback by this. He was like, who are these people?
Honey, they've done got the process.
Yes. So, even though Raleigh was like really, happy that they were, not causing him any issues or trying to fight with him or whatever, he still really just couldn't let go of the past between them. He was being very cordial and nice and everything.
How very Baptist of him.
I know. But he still, he couldn't get it off his mind. He was still irritated about it. He was like, almost like, really, you guys can be nice like this now, but it took years of us being estranged for you to finally be like, oh, maybe I want to be, not an asshole to my kid. So he keeps that under wraps. He stays cordial the entire time, and he says the next evening, after laying in bed thinking about how aggravated he was actually Christmas Eve the next day. And so on Christmas Eve, the evening of Christmas Eve, the family's all sitting in the living room swapping stories from over the years since Riley's been away. And they're actually really having a good time. And for the first time in a long time, Riley's just like, wow, it really feels like we're a family. And he said that eventually the story of Krampus comes up, and Riley's mother teases him basically by saying, I hope you've been good since you've been away. And his father would join in on the joke and be like, I've noticed some branches going missing around here. Probably Krampus prepping for a busy Christmas.
Oh Lord.
Just joking around, giving him a little bit of a hard time. And Riley says, he really basically rolled his eyes in mock annoyance, but appreciated that his parents were trying to make a lighthearted joke over him being gone.
Yeah.
And later that night, Riley goes to bed, and he said he really couldn't seem to fall asleep. He started feeling guilty about all the arguing he'd done with his parents over the years, and he started to think about the fights from more of their perspective, and was just thinking, maybe they just wanted a better life for me.
Yeah. And
that's why they were so hard on him about his career choice, that they just wanted him to do better than they had done, basically, and wanted what was best for him because they love him. And so around 1 a.m., Riley hears the sound of something just outside of his bedroom door. And it almost sounded like a really heavy, raspy breathing.
Oh.
And
like your great aunt who smokes too much.
Right. Believing it was just his dad playing a prank on him, Riley just walks right up to his bedroom door and swings it open and is going to scare his dad back.
Yeah.
But there's nobody there. Nobody's outside the door. And Riley's now super freaking confused because he can still hear the breathing sound. But now it more or less sounds like it's coming from the living room area. And so Riley says that he just kind of creeps down the hallway because he's like, what the hell is going on?
Right.
And as he's walking out of his room down the hallway a little bit, he gets ridiculously cold.
Oh.
Yeah. And he says he felt super cold out of nowhere. And he just automatically assumed that somebody had left the front door open and that the cold air from outside was getting in. And he was like, why the hell did somebody leave the door open? But, that's the only thing I can... Yeah. But that's the only thing he could think of that it could be. And so he starts walking more down the hallway towards the living room and to go look at the front door the living room is where the front door is. And he says for the first time in a decade, he was truly creeped out. And he really didn't know why he felt that way. Um, when he reaches the living room, he can see the front door is closed and locked up tight. So it's not that. But he said that he actually like clocked the telephone pole outside of their house because it's their telephone pole's right outside their house, like above their driveway, and it's got a light attached to it. So that light does a really good job of illuminating the front door.
Yeah.
And so if you can see like the shadow of someone standing there. When he clocked that telephone pole in the light, he kind of like looked at the door to see if there was going to be a shadow, and Riley said that he could clearly see the shadow of thin legs being cast underneath the door.
Oh.
Yeah. And he knew then that somebody was actually on the other side of the door. So Riley's like, what the hell? And he can still hear that loud, raspy breathing, and it's clearly coming from outside the front door.
Oh, God. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Riley says that he slowly and super quietly like approaches the front door, and his curiosity takes over. Mine would not have. I'd have been like, I'm out.
Ta-ta.
And honestly, mine probably would have. But I probably wouldn't go, I'm on first. Just looking. He decides to look through the front door peephole. And he, kind of squints one eye and goes to look. And he looks through the peephole and then immediately is terrified, jumps back.
Taken aback. He's taken aback.
Yeah, he jumps back and is kind of like in freaking shock, and like a shock and a scream like literally gets caught in his throat. What he sees on the other side of that door through the peephole was long, sharp, yellow, rotting teeth.
Oh.
Yeah. And not only shocked, but petrified as well. Riley's just kind of standing there, staring at the front door. I mean, he can't move. He's so scared. And, whew, on the other side of the door, there comes a knock.
Oh.
Now, listen, there's been no other sound yet other than just the breathing. And so, all of a sudden, there's a knock on the door. And Riley's like, oh, no.
The hell?
No.
Don't do it, Riley.
Yeah. And he said that he doesn't even move. Like, he honestly moves his hand over his mouth just, like, instinctively. Just because he doesn't even want this thing to hear him breathing.
Right. No, that won't.
And there comes another knock. Yep, exactly. That was good because it was a little bit more aggressive. And Riley's still just, like, petrified.
Yeah.
Just scared shitless.
I would be. I done pissed myself.
Oh my God, me too.
I done pissed myself.
And from the other side of the door, you hear a voice go, Riley, open the door and receive your punishment.
Oh, I was a touch seductive, that one.
I meant to be scary.
No, he was like, Riley, open the door and receive your punishment. And I'm like, what are you doing, seducing it?
Should I redo it?
No, let's just leave it in there. I mean,
Riley. Was that better?
Kinda. I feel like it'd be like, Riley, open the door, receive your punishment.
Yours got not creepy when you have to go higher.
I know, right?
The first bit was like,
Riley,
that's scary, Josh.
open the door, receive your punishment.
That was good. Okay, so that's what he said.
Alright, that's what he said. Moving on.
We're probably ruining the scariness of this story.
Honey, right.
Okay, so against his will, Riley says that against his will, his body starts moving
Charlie
and goes,
levitating now.
unlocks the door, and throws it open. Totally against his will. Like, in his body, he's like screaming, no, don't. And his body's moving and doing it.
You know those, what do they, kind of like when, no, like when you wake up before the rest of your body wakes up, you're kind of like paralyzed, and you're like,
paralysis.
Yeah, and you're kind of like willing your body to do something or something like that.
And it won't.
Yeah, and it won't, but it's kind of like willing it to stop, and it won't. I feel like that's how.
No, I agree completely.
How baby.
And once the door's open, Riley says that he saw the yard, the telephone pole, the driveway, and nothing. Nothing was there. And so obviously he's like, thank you, Jesus.
Right.
But
But there's always a but.
he looks down and there are hoof prints all over the porch.
Sell the house. Sell the house.
Sell the house.
Move.
Oh, he goes back. Riley did say that he definitely went back to Washington after that.
I would too.
Like, I mean, he was glad he made amends with his parents, but he was done with Maine. He went to Washington.
Do you think it could have been an elaborate prank?
To begin with, I definitely thought it was an elaborate prank as well.
Right.
And I didn't bring this part up because I didn't think it was integral to the story, but he said that as soon as this happened, he saw the hooves on the porch or whatever, because he had regained control of his body again, that he freaking slammed that damn door, locked it, ran upstairs to his parents' room, woke them both up, and was like, come outside now. And I mean, he made his parents get up and go look at the hoof marks and everything, and they said it was a damn goat. Or a deer.
In Maine?
First of all, why would there just be random goats walking around? But deer, I can see.
Well, deer,
but,
yes.
But what would make his body move without him telling it to move? Something like got in his head and made him open the door.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say, this sounds more along like Skinwalker vibes, not Krampus.
Maybe Krampus is just a skinwalker.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Honey, we might do a video on that later on. Our theories. Krampus, a skinwalker?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe not.
So, yep. So, well, you guys already know our stance on Krampus.
Right.
But
right.
We would love to hear whether or not you believe in Krampus or not. Or if
you
have any Krampus
that's
stories.
exactly what I was about to say. Do you have a Krampus story?
Minds.
I mean, we would love to share it because, listen, even though we may be a little bit skeptical, we are open.
Oh, yeah. Like, if somebody somebody I knew.
Yeah.
And I trusted, started being like, no, bitch, I'm going to tell you right now, Krampus is real. I know for a fact. And, like, started giving me their story, and I knew them personally.
Because we're not saying...
Honey, you make a believer out of me.
We're not saying that he necessarily doesn't exist. We just don't have enough to believe that he does yet.
Right. But that's almost like us saying we believe Santa's real.
But I believe in the spirit of Santa.
Oh, I believe in the spirit of Santa, for real.
But now Santa was actually, like, the actual person, which will,
right. Right.
Which we'll get into that when we talk about...
The tomb of Santa.
The tomb. Yes, the tomb of Santa.
I know that he was a real person, but we all know Santa isn't.
Well, no, yes, no.
You know.
This is, like I said, the first episode of our Christmas edition. Yes. Yeah. What? Oh. Yeah. And like I said, we hope to get as many done as we can. We definitely have I think a really good little lineup going on.
Oh, I agree. I'm so excited to do this. Next week we'll do like we said, the Tomb of St. Nick.
Yes. And we've got several more too.
Yes.
So excited about that. So stick with us.
Very much so.
I was going to say, let's come get our holiday horror on.
Yes, our holiday horror on and our
mistletoe mayhem. Yes. Hashtag the Guilders.
Hashtag the Guilders.
But thank you all so much for listening, for tuning in. Oh, it sounds so old-fashioned, doesn't it?
I loved it.
Thank y'all for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in, like it's our Christmas special.
Like it is our Christmas special.
I know, but remember the Christmas specials way back in the day. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in.
To our Christmas special.
And this is brought to you by...
Ariel and Josh.
Ariel and Josh, because we ain't got no sponsors.
Yeah, get with it, sponsors.
Yeah. Oh, wait, we do have sponsors.
We do. We just haven't, but they haven't, that we haven't reached agreements with them yet. So we'll...
That means that they want more we willing to give. I understand. Okay. All right. We'll circle back to that.
Yeah.
All right.
But guys, please, if you would, make sure you like and subscribe subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Spotify and TikTok, and like I said, we are going to keep you updated. Eventually, we're going to wear Facebook and Instagram down, honey. We're going to get it. We'll like, share, and subscribe. We love you guys, and we will see you. Don't forget the bell. Oh, sweet Jesus, that bell. Honey, if you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. And next to that subscribe button is going to be a bell. You're going to hit that bell. And you're going to click it. Oh, no, I didn't say that. Well, anyway, you're going to click that bell, and then you're going to select all. And when you select all, you won't miss a thing, honey.
Not a thing.
Not a thing, honey.
Bye. All right, thank you. Bye.